Hey, this is Money Muffins. In preparation for Woodland Hyperroll in patch 10.2 in Teamfight Tactics, I want to show you the best way to hyperroll in order to get the most 3-star units for your team. To get 3-star units, you'll need to find the same unit 9 times, a difficult feat. Luckily, hyperrolling is a technique that maximizes your gold and rerolls using the hotkey D to get the same unit over and over, so that you can increase your chance of completing 3-star units, typically done right after Krug. So in this new patch, we are going to be playing a lot of Woodlands, because Riot has buffed Woodlands to when you have 6 of them, which you can get with Nico, LeBlanc, Ivern, Maokai, and Woodland Lux. You'll now spawn a copy of everyone, but for hyperrolling purposes, we're going to focus on these 4 units because they are low-cost units and we want to get these to 3 stars. At first, I'm going to explain how to do a hyperroll, and then later I'll explain my rationale for why you want to do it in this way and why it's better than all the other ways you've seen so far. So at the start of the game on the first carousel, you'll want to pick up a Tear of the Goddess. If you cannot get Tear, go for Needlessly Large Rod. This is because Nico is your primary carry and she makes such a strong use of Seraph's Embrace, Luden's Echo, and Morellonomicon. During all of the minion rounds, such as here, you will want to buy all units that are Woodlands and sell the rest so that you're making interest every round. Just make sure you are strong enough to defeat all of the neutral camps. If you do not hit any Woodlands during this time, be sure to field the strongest team possible without compromising your economy. During stage 2, do not level up. So we start at 2-1, you do not want to level up here. However, you will want to make a decision. If you already have 1 2-star Woodlands, or if you have 3 Woodlands to activate their synergy, save your gold and do not do anything this turn. Simply buy all the Woodlands that you see. Again, those are Ivern, Maokai, Nico, and LeBlanc. Field the strongest team and earn the most interest that you can. If you do not have any 2-star Woodlands, or 3 of them at 1 star, you could re-roll your gold until you're at a multiple of 10 so that you can hit at least 1 2-star Woodland or 3 different Woodlands to activate their trait. Rolling earlier means that there's less chance that they're taken by other players, and you'll just roll in multiples of 10. For example, if you are at 16 gold, roll twice, and if you can buy 2 units, that'll put you to 10 gold. But don't go any further than that. Then at 2-2, you know what you're gonna do? You're going to roll all your gold to 0 and buy as many Woodland units as possible, but again, do not level up during this time. Just roll down all the way to 0, keep pressing D, buy every Woodland that you see, and do not level up. Now at stage 2-3, you're going to hit level 4. From 2-3 to 2-7, you're going to want to save all your gold and only buy Woodland units in the shop. Do not reroll or level at this time. Essentially, do nothing until Krugs. On the carousel, grab another Tear to finish Seraph's Embrace, grab a Needlessly Large Rod to build Ludens. Maybe if you had a rod from the last carousel, go ahead and finish up that Morellos. If there's no Tears, by grabbing a Giant Spell. Put these items on Nico if you have her. If you do not have Nico, use a placeholder unit to hold the items for her. This would be a non-Woodland unit who can utilize these mage items. And then at Krugs, you want to be sure that you could actually defeat Krugs. So this usually involves having at least 1 upgraded unit, but this is entirely dependent on your composition. You'll have to assess the strength of your team yourself. If you are too weak and cannot defeat Krugs, re-roll some of your gold, so press D until you can defeat Krugs. Again, this typically involves having 1 upgraded unit to defeat Krugs. Sometimes you need 2. Right after that, it's time to roll. So at stage 3-1, if you have done things correctly, you should be at around 8 out of 10 XP at level 4 and have at least 30 gold. Hopefully you have a little more. This all depends on how much gold dropped during the neutral camps and how well you've been able to econ or win streak. Do not waste any time during this stage. As soon as it begins, start re-rolling, press D for all of your gold, buy every Woodland unit until you have 0 gold, and then field the strongest team. Hopefully, you should have 4 Woodlands out there by this time, and at least 1 3-star unit by the end of this. If you were able to complete 3-star units earlier, you should get at least like a top 5 in your lobby. If you completed both Maokai and Ivern at this stage, you should be at least top 4. The good way to go beyond that is to find a Nico 3-star sometime during stage 4. This will likely get you to top 3. If you want to get first place, you'll need to find Woodland Lux, which is an extreme high roll, so you will need to get lucky for that. The chance for getting 2-star units remain the same at 35% from levels 4 to 6 and only drops to 30% at level 7. So be sure to build your economy back up get to level 7 and 8 in order to start finding Lux if you were lucky with your early game units. During this time, complement your Woodlands with Wardens or Mystics to round out your team. Lunar Synergy is quite useful as well since your units live quite a long time due to the Druid buff. If you had an unlucky game, let's say you did not complete any of your 3-star units after Krugs, you'll just have to pray and try to finish at least top 6. Save your gold until Wolf or Raptor Camp and try rolling down again. Stay level 5 during this time to maximize your chance of getting both Maokai and Ivern to 2-star. Once you have done that, you could go ahead and level up to level 6, try to get Nico, get good Nico items, and even though you did not hit your 3-star units, as long as you have good Nico items, you should at least get top 6 due to winning the mid game. Again, try to round out your team with any sort of tanks or support units and pray for a top 6. Since you'll be spending a lot of gold on upgrades instead of leveling, you should be able to beat some of the greedier players who have weak teams before Raptor Camp. Let's get into why this is the best way to do it. So some of the game mechanics we have here is that, as you can see in this picture, you have a 100% chance to get tier 1 units in your shop at level 1 and 2. That rate goes down to 70% at 3, and then 50% at level 4. At the same time, you'll get access to tier 2 units at level 3 for 25%, increasing to 35% at level 4. After that, the probabilities go down for all your 1-cost units, so you must maximize your rerolls during level 3 and 4. That's why I suggest using your gold during stages 2-1 and 2-2, which is something not a lot of hyper rollers do if they don't know these percentages. If you have checked out my leveling guide, you'll know that if you do not spend any money on buying experience, you'll naturally hit level 4 at stage 2, round 3. This means that it is optimal to actually spend gold on rerolls before you hit level 4 and buy every 1-cost unit in the shop from rounds 2-1 and 2-2 instead of building a larger economy to roll during Krugs, because when you're at Krugs, you're at level 4. Right now you're level 3. You have a much higher chance to hit the 1-cost units. Next, we're going to go into why you should use Woodlands. As stated above already, if you hit your units, you pretty much guarantee at least top 5, and the requirements, also known as outs, for this composition for going beyond top 5 are pretty easy to get. Great Nico items or both Ivern and Maokai upgraded gets you to top 4, and 3-star Nico gets you beyond that. And then if you are really lucky, you could still get first place with 6 Woodland Lux. Furthermore, all the Woodland units are 1 or 2 cost units, making it a no-brainer to utilize the hyper roll strategy when playing Woodlands. Now we're going to go into some best practices and tips for the composition. In order to maximize your chances of hitting your units, buy every unit in the shop of the same cost, especially while re-rolling, and then sell them when you need more gold to continue rolling. For example, if there's a Nasus 1 in your shop, buy him. When you are at 0 gold, sell that Nasus plus any other units that are not Woodlands that you have bought, and then keep rolling. The next tip is putting Maokai in the front line. Then you place Nico in the back, with Ivern kind of in the middle or the side of Nico to protect her from assassins. If you have followed me diligently so far, you should already know this next tip, but do not level up during stages 1 and 2. This is a crucial mistake. It'll completely ruin the math. Even if you're win streaking, do not level up to continue your win streak. You need to stay disciplined, stay the same level, and save up gold during this time. My next tip is that you could use this strategy with other compositions as well, as long as they revolve around 1-cost units with 2-cost complementary units. For example, this could also work with Predators or Lights. My last tip is for those people who are not mechanically gifted. If you are slow at doing a hyper roll during stage 3-1, let's say the round started already, your units are already fighting, and you still have 20 gold, don't worry, keep rolling while your team is fighting. This is still the best chance to roll and best chance to get 1-cost units, so don't feel like you have to stop just because the round started. Take your time, practice is key. That's all I have for today. Thanks so much for checking out this hyper roll video. I hope this helps you out in the future, and I will see you next time. Feel free to hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell icon to be part of the Carrot crew. Also, if you like the gameplay, head on over to my stream at twitch.tv/bunnymuffinslol, where I'm currently on an unranked to challenger grind. Also, don't be afraid to follow me on my other social media such as Instagram, Twitter, and Discord. I'll see you guys next time.